Okay, so I'm going to just show you what I would do and how I would have caught today, or if I'm still looking to catch something today, because the market is still open. So this is how I'm doing, for example, I'm doing SPY, so, and I'm doing futures. So this is what my chart looks like. These are like my lines where it's like resistance and support, um, like just major key areas, key levels. I look at my daily, and because I'm a scalper, I only want to catch something within this candle. This candle is really all I'm focused on. Overall, these gray lines help me to know the trend of the market. So, like currently, it shows like a downtrend and an uptrend. So, price is technically starting to squeeze, and at some point, it's either going to break to the upside or break to the downside. It helps me to see the trend of the market currently. So coming into the morning, technically this line wouldn't be there, but the first thing I'll do is I'll find the trend. So I see price was up here. It started to go down, It went all the way down here, and then it closed up here yesterday. So today it started up here, and as you can see, the lowest we've been so far today was here, which that means it's actually broken this minor broken structure on a higher level. If you do want to go further back, you can see on like a weekly, monthly, like this was December. The lowest price was here. The lowest price was here. Then it went all the way came back down, came back down. And as you can see, we finally made some new lows. So that's looking good for potentially it breaking down to the downside. But as you can see, that would be on a higher time frame type of trade, a swing trade, because I'm looking so far out. So because I only care about what's happening here as a scalp trader, I see, okay, so far price has been here and it rejected heavy and bounced back up, and price is currently here. Cool. It looks like buyers are starting to step in. If you go down to the 4-hour time frame, as you can see, that was the bounce. So opened around what? Where was price? Here, this candle, yeah, because it's only 4 hours. Price opened here, came all the way down here, and it came and recovered here. And then today it opened, it went down, and it bounced right up. So that's how we are currently sitting right here today. So because I have my trend line, I could say, price could potentially keep going up to here or even here. This is where we start to get some resistance. So I wonder if I can catch something from here, from this line, so this support to this resistance. That's again on a higher time frame, going down to see where could I catch that entry. So now I'm on my 1 hour. Price is currently here. I'm looking for price to go here. I don't see any resistance here. Price usually smoothly moves through this area. Cool. Go down to my lines, as you can see, they're pretty accurate because it kind of shows me like I'm getting close to this level, and then right here I'm at this level, and that's either going to let me know buyers are right here, they're going to step in. Sellers are right here, they're going to step in and push price back down. But there is a potential where price could break this level. Again, that's still on a higher time frame. But I know as a scalper, I can still catch something through here. So then go down to the 30 minutes. I can see a little more. So price was heavy going down. Buyers came in at this level. Cool. Buyers came in. Sellers came in. Price went down, broke this level. There is some buyers sitting right here. So I could really put a level right here. Because that lets me know there's some buyers right there. Hold on, let me just get this done, because this is me seeing currently what's happening. So you're seeing it actually happen real time. I want mine to be red, because for me, that means buyers. You could do however you want to do. This just helps my eyes, because green and red kind of throws me off. Okay, anyways. So boom, buyers stepped in, sellers stepped in, brought price all the way back down here. Buyers stepped in, pushed price all the way back up. So now we're getting into the scalping and day traders. So I'm gonna zoom in, because now I only care what happens what happens from this level, well, really price is here. So what happens from this level, and as you can see, I do have a line here. It's just close to where price is at currently, and then to this level. So that's a good $30 move that I could catch. And as a scalper, that's good. So let's see what happened. This morning we came in, price came down, started jumping back up. If price was going to go down, it would have held this supply zone, but it did not. Price came down and broke through this supply zone. So now, because price started holding this level, this supply turned into a demand. Because it turned into a demand, price is holding this level, and what was good indications was price never closed within the zone. Price came down, closed here, price opened here, came down, closed here, still outside this zone. So that's looking like a good indication that price is going to continue upwards. Also, price created a low here, created a lower high, because price clearly, came down and only got this far back up. Then it came down, created a lower low, then created a new high. So that's considered a break of structure, because price came here, it went down, so it broke this low, but then it broke this high. So that's an indication price is about to push up, because it created a new high. So then this happened, this turned into a zone. So for me, this is one indication. This supply zone turned into a demand zone. But now, since it broke that structure, what I'm going to do is it created a new zone. So now, this is the more accurate demand zone. So what happened? Price broke this. Let me make a line for you so you can see what I see. Price broke this. No. Broke this high. I'm going to make it blue so you can see. Okay. Price broke this high. Price came here, came up here, came down, and then it broke this high. This was the candle to break this high. So the zone to get in here would have been down here. But because all of this happened and I only care about what's coming up, I'm going to wait for a new break of structure. So price broke here, came down, this candle broke. This candle broke this new high. So now this is a higher high. This right here is a higher high. Because this was a high, and then this was a higher high. So I just want to make sure you see it. Cool. So got this high, then we got a higher high. Price came down, broke this high. These are new highs. So that means this is a new zone. This is now that zone that was a supply zone. This is a more accurate now demand zone, because it broke structure, came down, broke structure again right here. So currently price is breaking structure. Everything that we just wanted to catch, we technically missed because I'm trying to explain it. But let me keep going just so you can see it play out. So now that we know price broke structure and we have a new zone, we're waiting for price to come back. Ooh, it still didn't even happen yet. Potentially, because we're on the 30 minutes, we will wait for price to come back to the zone. This will be our entry to continue higher. So let's see what happened on the 15. Okay, cool. So because I trade on a more accurate one, this is now 15. So I don't want price to go below here. That's letting me know we might hit a reversal. This is the new zone, because you see price broke that high right here. That candle before it is now the new demand zone. On the 30 minutes, you see it was containing this one as well. But as we get deeper into our time frames, we're starting to see more accurate entries. Now we're going to go down to the 5 minute. Cool. Price broke structure here. So now I'm going to just delete that because we already knew. This is the new and more accurate, Lord have mercy. This is the new and more accurate zone. And this is for me telling you in order. So then, boom, price broke structure. Price never came back to the zone. It broke structure again, created a new zone. So I'm just following it. This is you asking me how it happened live. This is how you're catching it live. Hold on, baby. This is how you catch it live. So price never came back down here. It created a new zone. Boom, got the touch. Okay, this was an aggressive tap because you see it just came, it tapped, and then it went back up. Now, let's say you just wanted to catch a trade real bad, and this is just for the purpose of me showing you how and what we would be looking for. There are more what they consider A plus setups, but this is still within the setup. I'm gonna just say it like that. I'm gonna tell you why it's happening as well. Okay. So now what I would be looking for, because now I'm on my top 5 minute time frame. As I can see, one, I can see losing momentum. I'm starting to see wicks. That's one thing I'm going to keep in mind for this current price action. This is me catching it live again. I see price is starting to wick. That's letting me know we're losing momentum because as you can see, these candles were more full. They were giving volume. They price squoze and broke out to the upside. Good candle, good indication. Buyers. Now we starting to get wicks. So for us, that could be good or bad, but this is when you decide the type of trader you want to be. So I'm not an aggressive trader, but I'm going to explain an aggressive trader. Basically, the next move after we got our new zone is wait for the tap. An aggressive trader would have got in on the tap, like immediately. I'm in. That's aggressive. That doesn't have to do with market or limit. That just is aggressive trader. Now, conservative, we like to see, okay, boom, we got the tap. Sometimes price may play in the zone a little bit, but I'm waiting for the what I want to see a plus is no candles closing inside the zone. Or if a few candles do, I want to see a bullish candle. So for me, these are the light candles. A bullish candle coming to the upside. That's letting me know, okay, buyers are stepping in. Cool. So a conservative person would have waited for, okay, this candle tap, it closed. This candle, I'm waiting to see. It didn't even really give no momentum. It closed here, so it could have faked people out. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because look, the resistant line is right here. So price is slowly about to start. As we get close to these lines, that's when we get some resistance. So that's what these levels are for. These are more major. These are more minors. Like we moved through these before. That's what these ones are. And these are like we barely moved through these. So it's letting me know it's going to be heavy resistance. So as we can see, that's what's happening. But also, as we can see, price came here, came back for the tap. It minorly broke that structure. What we don't want to see, if that was a new zone, we don't want to see price break this, break below this zone. That means it's invalid. That means this zone is no longer valid as a demand zone. It's potentially going to be a supply zone, potentially. But also, that's how I'm letting you know we're getting close to the lines because now it's too many stuff going on, right? But also, we could just be waiting for a real tap for price to play through here for a little bit for another break to the upside. That gives us conservative people more time to get an accurate entry because immediately we came up here and got a rejection. Price could now be coming back here to continue to the upside. Or price could be holding this zone, continuing to push up. Now we get to see it happen live on what could actually happen. So, and really we would contain this whole candle for cosmetic purposes. So if we're going to get in buys, we're waiting for a candle to close outside of this zone. No candle have closed outside of this zone. We also don't want to see price come back here because potentially we really just got to wait for all of this to happen to even let us know. Because remember, we didn't even get the touch for this zone. So price could really come back down and give us an entry to continue back up. That's what we like to see. That's how you know it could be a little more volatile. Or price could do what it's doing now. And that's why we don't predict. We wait. This is when you trade what you see, not what you think. That's when this part comes in. So now we just wait. And I'm going to let it play out and I'm going to come back. Okay, as as you can see, price is starting to pull back. So we're not getting any momentum. We also have this resistance line here, so price could potentially just be trying to test here. But we still don't want to see that, because again, we haven't even gotten a candle closed outside of this zone. Price barely, like, price tapped and rejected heavy. So again, we're just watching it live. That's why it's taking so long. I'm sorry. Starting to get a rejection from this resistant line. Price came here and immediately rejected. We only got 30 something seconds on the candle. So yeah, so the potential for this to, ooh, see, that's why we wait till the candle close. But the potential for it to come all the way back here, let's watch it. Them sellers is there. Them sellers is not playing. Them sellers is right here. They is not playing. I could really put a line right there too. They in there heavy. Let me see. What do I want to put? I want to put it. They're really right here. They're right here. Buyers is right there too. So that's what these. You see how the zones make sense? Because not only are we playing within the zone, we're playing within the resistance and support levels too. So this is a key level right here. Price could break to the downside or it could break to the upside. So, but because price have not been able to push price higher and close outside the zone, it's giving price wants to reverse for sure. For sure. But again, we're not getting price. I mean, price is pushing to the downside, but they rejecting it. So this is what we like to see. These are called confluences, and this is how you mark up your trades live. Just to remind you, it's live, so that's why it's taking long. Look at that. Price is pushing to the downside. Heavy. If it invalidates the zone, price is definitely gonna pull back. For sure. But let's see, because we're getting that rejection again. We're getting that rejection again. So it's just a waiting game, for real. Like, that's all. That's really what you do. So, and right here are the aggressive traders. So there's people, they basically playing, but right now the people that wants prices to go down is winning. The sellers are winning. It's what it's looking like. Because they keep creating, these are minor breaker structures. They keep pushing price lower. Buyers cannot push past higher. They got rejected right here every time. So sellers are officially in. They about to invalidate this zone. But I'm going to wait until it actually invalidates so I can show you what invalidation is. Boom. That's technically an invalidation, but it also could just be a rejection. So let's wait till the candle fully pushed through. Boom, candle push through, that's invalid. Let's see what it does here, because this is also a zone. Is it going to push through? Because we now done broke a structure, a zone right here. Not a zone. We just broke a low right here. But for this to really count, we need to see what price is going to do. Another rejection. But we already did that, so let's see what we do. Let's see what we do. I think price is going to push lower. Yeah, price is going to push lower. But it can still hold. But we also have this zone. This will give us a way better entry. Way better entry. But let's see, because we could really get a great entry right here. But let's see what it does. Again, so what we're looking for is, we're looking for price to close outside the zone, stay closed outside the zone for an A+ setup. We're also looking for price to invalidate the zone. So, one or the other. That's what we're looking for. We're still not entering. Just because price is pushing down, that doesn't mean that's an entry. All your confirmations have to be hit, so it does take patience. Broke this low. We're about to break this low. That momentum is in there. for sure about to break this low. It's only 40 seconds left, and sellers is still pushing. Yep. And you're probably asking, nah, why wouldn't we get in? It's pushing down. We don't have an entry. We don't jump off a moving plane, and we don't jump on or jump off a moving train. So we're not about to jump in on moving price action. Because it could come here and reject. You know what I'm saying? We're in a zone, so we want candles to close. It takes patience. That's a good candle. What news just hit? Hold on. Is this news? What just happened? A lot of candle moving that crazy. See? That's when you start to get excited, but you can't. You gotta control it. It's no news. It's no news. So what is happening? You about to invalidate this zone too? Is how we coming? Hold on. Let me look. Okay. On the higher time frame, we got this zone right here. Yeah, on the higher time frame, we got this zone right here. Yep, which is this zone right here. As you can see, is how you confirm. So it is potential for it to really come down here. Because on the higher time frame, it's here. Remember, we was getting more accurate. So it could still come back here, pull back to this zone on the higher time frame for it to continue up. And we would just aim for a 101, or we'll aim for a 102. And if you really want to hold it, you can aim for a 103. And if you think it's going to break, which I don't, because on the higher time frame, we can still bounce back down. I think we're going to break to the downside. But we have potential to just squeeze through here. So, yeah. Just waiting. Still. Ooh, it's getting lower. This is a new candle. If it break past here, it's definitely gonna come back to this zone. And then this is when it really matters, because then we just broke structure for real. We breaking structure. So once we break here, we now have a new zone. Right now we don't. We want to completely break structure. Once we do, this will be our new supply zone. Because right now this is still a demand zone, but we got a rejection. So let's just wait and see. This does not mean entry. For us, this means, okay, there's a key level right here. Price broke that key level with this candle. It can come back, retest this key level, and continue lower, or it can break through, and that'll let us know, okay, cool, this demand zone was still valid, and it got what it needed and continue higher. But if it hits this key level and reverse, break this structure, we're coming back down to this level. And because we are looking for buys, we are waiting. We're waiting for these zones to get a candle closed outside of these zones. If we don't see that, there is no trade. As you can see, price is pushing out of the zone with momentum. This is what we like to see. We got 40 seconds on the clock. Some people will be jumping in right now because we are getting that momentum, but this is still considered aggressive. Got 30 seconds on the clock. We will be loading up to see, are we getting in this? Is price going to wait for us? Is price going to wait for us? Where is price going to close? We're looking for a close outside of this zone. Is price going to wait for us? We'll be setting up. So for me, what setting up would look like, I think it's going to go long. Hopefully price don't push above here. But I'm technically looking for price to close down here. That would be better. Price just closed. Let's see. I would get in. Yep, because price closed outside the zone. And we would hit for a 101. This would be a 101. But technically, that's what we would be looking for. But technically, we want price not to go outside the zone. So this would be our stop loss. But I might even put my stop loss. Whoops. Hold on. I would put my stop loss. Oh, that is the low of that candle. Hold on. Sorry, my baby's crying. But as you can see, we will be hitting for a 101 right now. So we will be in the trade. I would have got in that market immediately. Got in when price closed. Outside that zone. I'm in. That's conservative. This would have been a 101. Whoops. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Anyways, basically just showing you like 101, and then if you wanted to aim for a 1 to 2, it would have been right here. And yeah, that's how you get your profit, like your risk to ratio profit. But I would get out when price get here, or because I'm so much in profit and already hit 1 to 1, if I stayed in for a 1 to 2, I would have made my stop loss break even. So even if I would have came out the trade, I still would have at least came out with my 1 to 1 if it don't hit 1 to 2. 1 to 2. As you can see, we would have got kicked out. If you were going for a 2 to 2, we would have got kicked out the trade, but you still would have closed with your 1 to 1. But let's say you didn't get that trade, right? Price came down here. This candle right here created a new high, broke that structure, created a new high. This was the zone right here, but I just include the whole data, so all of that candle as well. This is the new zone. As you can see, price came back down, touched the zone, but like I told you, this is a resistance line. So again, still wouldn't have gotten in this trade because we're not getting a close above the zone. The zone came down. It didn't even touch this zone. Literally, this zone is holding this zone, and then it pushed out. If you wanted to catch this, basically, when price closed here and opened here, you could have got into your trade conservative at market price, so market order. Then you would have put in your tool for your 1 to 1, and actually you would already hit your 1 to 1. Would have hit your 1 to 1. But usually what you would do would be your stop loss. That's if your account can manage all of that. I know my account can, so I really be like, I don't want to lose too much. But normally what you would do would be your whole zone, because you don't want price to come back and break that structure. Now, to make it a 1 to 1 would be here. So remember, we still can go to here. We were trying to catch from here to here. So this would be a good 1 to 1 if you had enough to hold. But even still, if I didn't have this whole zone, I don't want to come back below this resistance level. So this would have been a true 1 to 1 outcome based on risking this much. And as you can see, we was barely in drawdown. Let me zoom in. So you could have caught this if you didn't catch the last one. So say you put in 3 contracts. Right now, I'm good. I would have got out at like 2 contracts. I'll still leave a runner to see if we can really push all the way up. Because remember, we're only risking this much. So technically, our 1 to 1 would have been right here. This is really a 1 to 4 because we measuring it to this whole zone. If you remember, that's how much we were going to be risking all of that. That's too much for my account, so I wouldn't want to go. I wouldn't want to go past this resistance line.